Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about Mary Anning, an English paleontologist whose seaside discoveries changed our understanding of prehistoric life on Earth. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. A lot of people know the famous tongue twister, "She sells seashells by the seashore," which originated in a popular British song published in 1908. Many people claim that the songwriter, Terry Sullivan, wrote these famous words as a tribute to Mary Anning and her coastal fossil business in Lyme Regis. According to the story, the phrase was included in a song written to ensure that Anning's contributions to paleontology would be remembered for future generations. What do you think? Is this an actual fact or just too good to be true? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is coprolite. That's C-O-P-R-O-L-I-T-E. A coprolite is a piece of fossilized animal feces that has been mineralized over millions of years. Scientists examine coprolites to learn about the diets, digestive systems, and environments of extinct animals. By slicing coprolites into thin sections and studying them under microscopes, paleontologists can identify undigested bone fragments, fish scales, plant materials, and even parasite eggs. The word coprolite comes from ancient Greek. Kopros means dung, and lithos means stone. So coprolite is literally dung stone. The English geologist William Buckland coined the term in 1829 after studying specimens gathered by Mary Anning along the cliffs of Lyme Regis. Anning noticed that dark oval stones found inside the abdominal regions of fossilized ichthyosaurs contained fish bones and scales. Her discovery proved that these objects were fossilized droppings rather than ordinary rocks, establishing coprolite analysis as a vital branch of paleontology. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about Mary Anning. Number 1. Mary Anning was struck by lightning as an infant, and some people in her community believed it transformed her into a scientific prodigy. On August 19, 1800, a 15-month-old Mary was being held by a neighbor under an elm tree during a sudden thunderstorm. There were 2 other women taking refuge under that tree, and I do have to point out, there's a reason we're all told not to stand under a tall tree during a storm. A bolt of lightning struck the tree, and the 3 women were killed while Mary fell to the ground unconscious. Thankfully, people saw her and rushed her home, where they placed her in a tub of warm water, and she was successfully revived. The dramatic survival story spread around her community, and a local legend was born. Townspeople talked about how Mary had been a sickly baby prior to the thunderstorm, but after the lightning strike, she grew into a remarkably energetic child with keen eyesight and an observant mind. They often attributed her exceptional ability to spot tiny fossils hidden in cliff faces to that lightning strike. Family records do indicate that she was a sickly baby, but I feel like I should point out there is 0 scientific evidence suggesting that being struck by lightning would cure any ailments. Whether connected or coincidental, her sharp observation skills became her greatest asset as a pioneering paleontologist. Number 2. When she was just 12 years old, Mary Anning excavated the first complete ichthyosaur skeleton. In 1811, Mary's older brother Joseph found a 4-foot-long fossilized skull under the cliffs near their home in Lyme Regis. The following year, the 12-year-old Mary systematically dug out the remaining skeleton body, which was about 17 feet long. Local villagers initially believed the creature was a crocodile, but scientists quickly realized it belonged to an unknown marine reptile. The discovery drew international attention to the Dorset coastline and launched Mary's career as a fossil collector. This excavation happened at a time when many scientists believed that species were fixed, meaning there was always the same number and they never went extinct. The strange dolphin like specimen provided concrete evidence that creatures that had once existed on Earth were no longer around. The Anning family sold the specimen for 23 pounds, which would be the equivalent of a little less than $3,000 in today's money. Sadly, that first ichthyosaur skeleton was destroyed during the bombings in World War II, but other ichthyosaurs Anning found are on display at the Natural History Museum in London today. Number 3. When Mary Anning discovered the world's first complete plesiosaur skeleton, many prominent scientists thought it was a fake. In 1823, Mary Anning uncovered a 9-foot-long fossil with a tiny head and an abnormally long neck. The specimen was so dramatically different from any known animal anatomy that many experts were skeptical. Georges Cuvier, a leading French anatomist, publicly accused Anning of forging the fossil by combining bones from different species. The Geological Society of London actually held a special meeting in 1824 to examine the physical evidence and try to uncover the truth. After a thorough inspection, Cuvier owned up to his mistake and admitted that Anning's discovery was genuine. The creature was named Plesiosaurus, meaning near lizard, because of its unique skeletal structure. This discovery established Anning's reputation as a very meticulous fossil collector who preserved fragile bones intact. Her work on plesiosaurs helped scientists map the diverse reptile ecosystems of the Mesozoic era. Number 4. Anning identified the first pterosaur fossil outside of Germany. In 1828, while she was out searching the unstable shale cliffs of Lyme Regis, Anning discovered a set of bones with a large head, short tail, an elongated finger bone, and a wingspan of about 4 feet. She correctly recognized the fossil belonged to a flying reptile. It was the first discovery of a pterosaur outside of Bavaria. Prior to Anning's discovery, scientists believed pterosaurs were confined to Central Europe. Her finding proved that they also inhabited coastal regions across what is now the UK. But extracting this skeleton was delicate work. A pterosaur's bones are hollow and easily crushed during excavation. Anning's careful extraction of such fragile remains helped set the standard for field paleontology. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: Mary Anning was excluded from scientific societies because she was a woman, but she earned the respect of scholars around the world and lasting historical recognition. Leading European geologists routinely traveled to Dorset to consult Anning and inspect her latest fossil discoveries. She taught herself anatomy, geology, and drawing by borrowing scientific books and copying complex papers by hand. Because the Geological Society of London barred women from joining, male scientists frequently published research papers on her findings without listing her as the co-author. Nevertheless, prominent naturalists acknowledged her genius, and the British government gave her a civil list pension in 1838. After her death in 1847, the president of the Geological Society read a formal eulogy honoring her lifetime of service to science. In 2010, the Royal Society named Anning one of the 10 most influential British women in the history of science. Today, the site of Anning's old home is a local museum, and the cliffs where she hunted fossils are a UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Jurassic Coast. Now for some news you can use. If all this paleontology talk has you interested in trying a little fossil hunting yourself, the best tip is to search along beaches at low tide, especially immediately after a winter storm or heavy rain. Coastal rain and rough waves erode dirt and shale cliffs, exposing previously buried rocks and fossils on the shore. When you're out walking along the shoreline, focus your eyes on the tide line where loose rocks gather. Try looking for repeating geometric patterns, dark, shiny textures, or unusual symmetry that differs from the ordinary jagged stones. Natural erosion can break apart dense rock layers without damaging the fossils inside. Searching during low tide gives you maximum beach area to inspect safely while keeping you at a distance from unstable cliff bases. And always remember to check your local beach regulations, wear sturdy footwear, and check tide tables before heading out so you can stay safe while you're out fossil hunting. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked about the famous tongue twister, She Sells Seashells by the Seashore, and whether the songwriter Terry Sullivan wrote it as a tribute to Mary Anning. Well, this story is largely considered a myth. It's a fallacy. While Terry Sullivan wrote a popular music hall song in 1908 containing the famous tongue twister, variations of the phrase existed in print long before his song was published. Historical evidence shows that She Sells Seashells appeared in popular magazines as early as 1871 without any mention of Anning. Also, Sullivan didn't leave any notes or written records indicating that his lyrics were inspired by Mary Anning's life or work. So the connection between the song and Anning is more of a modern urban legend than any historical fact. But if the tongue twister gets people talking about Anning, I guess I'm all for that. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about Mary Anning with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.